Hello and welcome back to Weekend Express. Let's delve into that yoga conversation now. And in studio this morning, we'll be speaking to the author of this book, Yoga for Health. Her name is Kalpana Karia, and many of you might know her. Between the years 1982 to 1986, she taught yoga on television, the only station at the time, and that was Voice of Kenya. Kalpana Karia, thank you so much for joining us on Weekend Express.
Thank you.
Let's begin with your days at VOK. How long did you teach yoga?
I taught yoga on VOK for 4 years. Every Saturday afternoon it used to be on air. And before that I'd been teaching for quite a long time.
Right. I mean, that was quite a while back. What was the reception to yoga then as opposed to reception to yoga now?
Well, now it's very popular, and especially due to the International Day of Yoga. It's become very popular, but that time it was a bit slow and we really had to try to push, and that's the reason I did my first book, so that people get more awareness. But after that program, people were aware of it.
Right. And of course, you've been teaching yoga for 30-something years?
Yeah, 36 years.
That's quite a long time, so you've learned a lot. This is the second book you're writing. Well, it's a revision of the first book you wrote. When did you write your first book?
In 1986.
Tell us more about that. I mean, what was the inspiration for that book? What was the reception to the book at the time?
Yeah, at that time it became very popular, and it got sold out in all the bookshops everywhere. And even one of my students, Marianne Channon, she translated the book in Swiss German, and she sold it in Europe as well.
Right.
So it sold, and we sold it all over the world quite well.
So we'll talk about this in just a moment, yoga for health. But even while I was speaking to you earlier, you just talk about the effects of yoga and how it can serve so many different needs for different people. You started doing this at the age of 10. Talk to us about your yoga journey.
Okay, you know, when I was young, I am a morning person, so I used to wake up early in the morning and to do my studies. And I used to see my father doing yoga. He never, told all the children that you have to do. He never forced us. So I used to peep through and see him standing on the head and doing the lotus and doing the breathing. And I kept on telling him, Dad, please teach me, please teach me. So that's when he started. And he said, no, you have to study first. You have to study first. But then he thought that I'm the only sibling who was interested. So he started teaching me. And then, of course, when you go into the teenage, it lapsed and it went away. And I was studying in England. I was doing radiography. So when I was studying in England, I don't know, I believe a lot in past life, that it comes from your past life.
Right.
So wherever I saw anywhere yoga classes, I used to just go. And then I started going to the classes of Lynn Marshall. During that time, she was quite famous, and Richard Hittleman. Whenever I used to get time from my schedule of the hospital, I used to go there and started attending the classes. After I qualified as a radiographer and came back, I went to India in the Rishikesh. Rishikesh is a center for the international yoga in the Himalayas in India. So I went there, and I went to the Shivananda ashram, and I stayed there for a while, and I learned quite a lot. But to my surprise, whatever they were teaching me, it was all coming from inside, because I feel that it's not this life's journey, it's probably the past life journey as well.
Right. How has yoga helped in your life? I understand there's a point where you got a bad accident.
Yes.
And your healing process was mostly dependent on yoga.
Yes. When I had an accident, the doctors gave up. I had 9 fractures in 2010. On my scapula, my clavicle, all my vertebrae were all broken, my ribs. And my only scare was that I'll lose my yoga, because I was doing, all the postures so perfectly and all that. And later on, I just kept on doing the breathing exercises, because, the oxygen is so important for all your organs. And in yoga, it teaches you about breathing, about getting into the oxygen to the parts. And I used to work on that, work on the sun therapy. I do a lot of sun therapy with colored glass, putting colored glass on the special. And that's what really healed me, and power of positive thinking. I'm very positive in life. I'm always, yoga teaches you the power of positive thinking. And it teaches
you that it does. 21st June was the International Day of Yoga. International Day, yeah. And we saw Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi in India join the public in doing yoga as well. Yeah. When he came to Kenya last year, he also had a part in this book.
Yes.
Talk to us about that.
Because when I did mention that I've written a book on yoga in the 80s, and he said that now we've already started International Day of Yoga, why don't you, do another one? So that's one sentence in a nutshell, and that's what, you know, I said I should, because this book was totally sold out. It was the only copy I had, and nobody had. So then I thought that, because, you know, from 86 to now, of course, you learn a lot. So I learned a lot about the bandhas, the mudras, the super brain yoga for children.
Right.
So then I added all that. It's a revised edition, and a lot of new postures are in the new book compared to the old one.
Right, and it's very visual, very graphic. It's a great book. We'd like to speak about the super brain yoga in just a moment, but who does yoga? Because there's this perception that, first of all, yoga is for Indians, and there's all these terms in yoga that we cannot pronounce because they're Indian names. Some say only young people do it. So who does yoga?
No, you know, in this book, you can see that all ages, from little, I've got pictures of little children doing yoga. I'm 61 and I'm still doing yoga, and I have, you know, it's going from 20s to 30s to all the ages are doing yoga, the models. So it's not necessarily for just young people. Yoga means unity, actually. It's, you know, derived from Sanskrit, yuj, which means joining together. It just joins mind, body and soul together, and makes you, in the book I've specified that it makes you externally beautiful and internally beautiful. It's two beauties you need. So anybody who wants to remain beautiful throughout the, you know, externally and internally, it's excellent for your health because it activates your internal organs and glands.
Right.
So
that's good news for the women. They're looking for anti-aging secrets. So yoga is one of them. Yoga is
the answer to it.
Let's discuss super brain yoga, because it's a rather new concept. It involves children.
Yes.
What is super brain yoga?
Super brain yoga basically deals with the thymus gland and acupressure points and the breathing exercises. So it's these three things together. And when you activate, because, you know, normally one of the sides of your brain is working less, and that's why you have dyslexia children, you have children who cannot perform well in school. But after teaching super brain yoga in schools, and I also go to the Lutheran the school for handicapped children.
In fact, we'll take a look at some of your videos that you keep posting on Facebook. You do a lot of teaching in schools with super brain yoga.
So it's basically, you know, I'll show you when, you know, I'll demonstrate how super brain yoga is done. It's a few exercises which releases certain hormones in the brain, and that activates the brain cells, and that makes even naughty children quite, you know, calm. And it's mainly to do with the breathing exercises, the mind, and the acupressure points.
Right. So it's something. It's a secret that parents also need to learn if it makes children calm. Maybe just to demonstrate how it's done, and then we'll get into the relaxation yoga. Okay. So what age group of children would you recommend for super brain yoga?
Super brain yoga actually is not just children.
Oh, it's for
even adults are weak in mind, and adults also suffer from, and teenagers also suffer a lot from that. So it's from any ages can do it. Okay. You know, and it's basically you have to put your tongue on the floor of your upper mouth. Touch the tip of the tongue up. That's the main. So that starts secreting certain enzymes in the wine, and then with the right, you take the right thumb and the right finger. Okay, and then you just press the left ear with the right, and actually I'm wearing earrings, but you're not supposed to wear any jewelry during super brain yoga. And you press this like that, press it hard, very hard, and then you take the left one and take it straight up like that, and then press it hard, and then you do squirting. So as far as you can go, you go down, 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 okay, up 14 times. So we're not going to do 40. Okay, so you do it.
So the tongue still has to be pointed to the top.
And then when you go down, you have to inhale deeply. Now, inhalation through the nose, never through the mouth.
All right.
So inhale, go down, exhale through the mouth. Inhale, go down, down, exhale, up. Inhale, and make sure you retain your tongue up all the time. And then when you release, so that's 14 times. Then when you release your left hand first, and you keep on watching.
Wait, my left hand is this one?
Yeah, okay. You keep on watching the thumb, tip of the thumb.
Right.
All right, and then you take it, and you see, you should not move your head, you're just moving your eyes, the eyeballs, and you take it on the side, and then you take the left one slowly. It has to be very slow And then you keep on watching the side. And once you've got both of them, your head is straight, then bring both of them together in the middle. So both the tips of the thumb come closer to your eyes. Keep on concentrating, but the tongue again, retain the tongue up. And then again, just keep on watching the tips of the thumbs. Now this is one of the main exercises for Super Brain Yoga. Bring it closer, and you see that really enhances. And then when you breathe, when you bring it closer, you inhale, and when you take it back, you exhale. Inhale and exhale, and then again. Then you look up again, and you do the same. But it has to be all actions has to be done 14 times.
Right.
So, and then up again, up, straight up, right? Straight up, and you keep on doing that. And then you go down, 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 and then you keep on doing the same. Both the thumbs up and down, up and down. And then come up again, come up, keep on. All right, and then again, slowly part your hands, and then bring them down, open. So you see here even, all these fingers are pressing these pressure points here. You see, and then you're opening your thumb.
Right.
So these pressure points are tightly pressed. So that is releasing, that's activating the brain cells, and it's also releasing the fluid. And at the same time, you're touching this. You don't remove your tongue down until you finish the whole exercise. So there are a few more, but this is the main one which really enhances the brain cells.
I mean, I would imagine doing this with children would be a bit difficult, especially in terms of getting them to commit and getting the discipline on the ground. How has your experience been with that, especially the results that you've seen from Super Brain Yoga?
Yeah, no, in fact, the children are, because what I make them do, I know they're so noisy in some, we used to see this. So what I make them do some meditation. And they have to breathe, and I just let them sit in the lotus posture or the cross-legged and just sit with, I even have specified about the mudra. So this mudra, is very good to help concentration, because these are the 5 elements. The whole universe is made out of the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. Our body is made out of the 5 elements. So this, the thumb represents the fire. This one represents the air, ether. The last one is the water, and this is the earth. Right. So these are the mudras, and so this mudra basically helps in knowledge, helps in concentration. So when we touch the fire and the air, it helps, them calm their mind down. So I make them sit like that, and then they keep on breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose. The minute they start making noise, and then they love it. They really like doing the breathing. So, and then they have to listen to their breath, because breathing is so important for the body. And that's how, after that, I put them into doing Super Brain Yoga.
Right. So that's for children.
Yeah.
But what effects or what transformation have you seen in children after Super Brain Yoga?
As I said, there's so many dyslexia children which I've worked with, and they've started improving tremendously. And at the same time, in the handicapped children, they couldn't even hold the pen before. But now they can hold the pen, they can write, I'm sorry, I don't know those, but this really helped. Anybody can come to Lutheran school for the handicapped in Kisumu.
So it works.
And yeah, it works. It does.
All right.
It does.
And of course, you keep teaching a lot more yoga classes. Also in your book is yoga for relaxation.
Yeah.
It's something that many of us, or we all think yoga is for relaxation, but we're not quite sure how it works. And if I'm alone at the end of the day, what moves do I make? What are the poses? And, like you mentioned, all these energies, what do we need to deal with? Talk to us about yoga for relaxation.
Okay, relaxation yoga, basically, you have to, I'll demonstrate on you?
Absolutely.
Okay, you can lie down. It's called Shavasana, the dead man's posture, straight. There are 3 main postures. Okay, this one is called the crocodile pose, the Makrasana. You fold your arms this way, cross your arms, put your head on here. Okay, and your feet, it's also in the book, your feet are just slightly upwards. Now this is Makrasana, the crocodile pose. This brings about a lot of blood supply to your brain. It really relaxes your brain. The second one, this is in the prone position, the supine position. If you turn, in the supine position, It's called Shavasana in Sanskrit, but dead man's pose. Just like a dead man, you have to, part your legs and palms facing upwards. Okay, slightly parted, and neck slightly on the side. Okay, and then you just close your eyes. And usually in my class, I keep on saying, relax, relax your right toes. So you stretch them slightly, relax, right foot, ankle, lower leg. So every part of the body, you just stretch it slightly, relax. And then you concentrate on the breathing, right? When you come to the face, you relax your facial muscles, you relax your palms, you relax your fingers, your abdomen, your chest, your back, and then your face, your facial muscles. Just let go, let go. You just have to let go and relax, let go and relax. And then maybe you can put some nice music on the side and listen to the music, and you just, and then I take them into visualization. You visualize you're lying on the beach, the waves are just, maybe you can put some music of the sounds of the beach, and that really helps the relaxation.
It really does. I can already feel it.
You already feel it.
It really does. All right, this is great. And finally, of course, one of the things I wanted to talk to you is the difference between these books, Yoga for Health, the old version and the new version. What is different in this one?
Okay, this one just has some basic postures, which were based on the television series. Now, this one has a lot of, as you see, it's a revised edition. It has bandhas, chakras. Right. We have the 7 chakras in the body, which are the energy centers, and then the super brain yoga. And then some of the postures, which I learned over the years, more postures are in this book than in the other one.
All right. So, and maybe just to continue the conversation on yoga for healing, because it's a conversation that has been asked many times. Yeah. Something that you went through after your accident not very long ago. You did not use much medical attention in terms of healing. Let's talk about that. Yoga for healing, especially for very bad accidents and injuries.
Yes. You see, main thing is that, of course, breathing, because you can live without food for days, you can live without water for maybe 3-4 days, but without air, how long can you live?
Right.
And yoga is not just gymnastic exercise. People do it fast, gymnastic. Yoga is a slow and hold movements, totally on the breath control. You supply by breathing, and correct way of breathing yoga teaches you, which is through the nose, and then you're holding, and then exhale through the mouth. The ratio of that breathing should be 1:1:2. If you breathe in to count of 6, you exhale to count of 6, you hold to count of 6, exhale double the time. So what I used to do after my accident, they put me on heavy drugs, morphine, and so it was really bad. They were giving me bad side effects, and I said, no, this is not me. And I stopped those drugs. I was tolerating the pain, but I kept on breathing and supplying more oxygen to those parts of the body which needed the healing. Right. And I kept on visualizing myself to be a perfect person, that I'm already healed. Okay.
How easy is this? Like you say, yoga unites mind, body, and soul, but it's not as easy, when you try it the first time to feel that entire connection. I mean, some of the downward dogs, the moves are quite difficult, and you find yourself thinking about the difficulty of the pose as opposed to that relaxation. So, I mean, what else do you need to do to get that visualization that you're talking about?
No, actually, what you do is difficult posture. You don't have, yoga, everybody, when they hear about yoga, they think, oh, sitting with the legs up and putting your leg at the back or putting up one leg up. And no, yoga is not gymnastic, okay? You go into that process slowly. Even I tell my students in school, I'll show you a couple of postures that you do the first variation, then you go into the second variation, and gradually, I mean, most of my students know this, that gradually, I just tell them to go into those postures gradually. Once you're in that posture, you hold, you just concentrate on your breathing, 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 so that it supplies more oxygen to those organs and glands which are being stretched. And then you come up slowly. It's not a fast, vigorous moment. Right. No.
All right. So since you've been doing this for 36 years, or 36 plus years, why don't you show us something, especially the hardest yoga pose you can do?
The hardest? Perhaps. Oh, okay. I don't want to show very hard.
Yeah. Okay. You can show us.
But, all right. I'll show you some. I wanted to talk about even balanced postures. Now, you see, when they see the balanced postures, you see doing that, they think that it's just a yogi's posture
Right.
and this, but it's not. You know, balance is so important in our body because it doesn't just balance your body, but it balances your relationships by doing the balanced postures. It balances your health. It balances your a whole total way of thinking. You know, and it balances all your energies around the body, inside the body. So I'll just show you a couple of balanced postures and I'll show you the complete spinal bends.
Right.
So this is called Vriksasana in Sanskrit. You just, and for balanced postures, people will think, oh, I'll go there and I'll start wobbling. But you don't do that. What you do is just select a little dot on the floor and then keep on watching at the dot. So that concentration maintains your balance. So even in life, whenever you're disturbed, watch a little dot anywhere and balance your mind and breathe. And that's how it works. So just watch a little, I mean, now I'm used to it, so I don't really need, so you just take this is Vriksasana, and you take both the hands up and down and exhale. So it's all on breathing. You inhale up and then you hold and you exhale. Okay? That's one of the balance postures. The second one is Natarajasana. Natarajasana, you take the right leg up. First, just take one leg up and try and stand on one leg. And then you can move forward and back and down. So these are just basic balance. But if you can't get that, you can just start. What I tell my students is just start holding one leg up and stand like that. So from that, they can go to the second step. They can go to the third steps. So, and then you have many sitting balance postures as well, like the boat, and I'll show you later.
All right.
So I'll show you another standing pose. After I finish with standing postures, I'll show you the sitting. The spinal bends. The spinal bends again. You see, I'm taking you in a process, so people don't think that, oh, straight away, I can't do that, so I don't want to do yoga.
Right.
So the first step, your spine is so important. Anything goes wrong with the spine, your whole body is doomed.
Right.
So for the spinal bend, you just stand straight with feet together, and you stretch back first, and then you exhale, and push your body down. Now you see the first step, I know what people will think, that I can't bend, I can't touch, I can't touch. So they bend their knees. But the knees should be locked. So if you can't, it's fine. You can just hold your knees and do that. Then the second step, you go down to your ankles. The third step, you hold your toes and you bend forward. Then you look up, inhale, exhale, and stretch back, back. Inhale, and down. So they're all slow and hold movements. The third one more, I'll show you the spinal bend.
I can join you for this one as we wind up. We've been speaking to Kalpana Karia, who is the author of Yoga for Health, and it is a book that is, where can people get this book, Kalpana?
In Textbook Center. In Nairobi and all the other bookshops.
All right, so Textbook Center is where you can get this Yoga for Health. Kalpana Karia has been teaching yoga for 36 years, and she is joining us on Weekend Express.
And this one. You can do this?
No, I cannot do that.
Okay, all right. But just not
I'll watch you do that one.
Okay. So again, in these ones, I just let the people just go slowly, slowly, but do not bend the knees. And then they go completely down or head down. And then you even put your hands at the back and you go down. Like both the sides even. But you don't lift your knee. The knee should be locked. The other side. So these are the main, and then you can even just lift and go down. Like
61 years old. It's no joke. I mean, I can barely do that, but I'll give it a try. Thank you so much for joining us on Weekend Express. That's why we leave it this morning. This is Yoga for Health. Do grab your copy of the book at Textbook Center for more yoga poses. My name is Michelle Ngele. Do you have yourself a good morning?
Thank you very much.
All right.